A couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure to meet a cancer conqueror, Mr. Matt Jones. His story is nothing short of inspirational. Let's take a look at that interview right now.
Called the Ommaya Reservoir because of the blood-brain barrier. Well, what happened was this device was supposed to help me got infected. My temperature rose to 104 degrees and one of my kidneys began to fail. So what happened was I slipped into an unconscious state.
Well, it's so awesome to have you on the program. Again, the book is called Going Through Hell, Don't Stop. Matt Jones, inspirational story. Congratulations on being a survivor 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
Thanks.
To Matt Jones! Imagine that you're standing among 22,000 other people. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're waiting for a starting gun to fire so you can run 26.2 miles. Now, how many like me think that sounds like a crazy idea? Can I see your hands? I was 25 years old, and I was sitting on the hospital bed. I reached down to tie my shoes. I couldn't remember how. The physical therapist in the corner of the room looked on as my dad, he walked over. He knelt down and just like when I was a boy, he tied my shoes. What had happened was the previous week, I slipped into a semi-coma as the cancer spread to my brain. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Doom walked into my room. Now this is the type of person that brightens the whole room as soon as they leave. And she laid her head on my chest, and later she said, Matt, all I wanted was for you to know I was still there. And she gave me the greatest gift that you can give, the gift of love. Because in the end, that's what it's all about, isn't it? To love and to be loved. And Dr. Doom nudged her, took her out to the hospital hallway. Ariella, you need to call Matt's family and friends. We don't think he's going to make it. Against all odds, I recovered. And that year, I got the most birthday cards ever. And with the help of the physical therapist and my dad, I stood up. I went to take a step, Kim, and I didn't remember how. And I put one arm around both of them as they took my right leg and they picked it up and put it in front of my left. They took my left leg and picked it up and put it in front of my right. One by one, as I had to relearn how to walk. And as I laid there in my hospital bed, in my mind's eye, I got this vision of running a marathon. People who have a vision. And once you have that vision, it's necessary that you visualize it. But I realized something. If all I did was lay there in my bed visualizing running a marathon, what had happened? Anyone ever have a New Year's resolution? Right? And so often in life, we're like, well, I wish I could do this or I want to do that. But the next strategy is so important. And please repeat after me, take action. That little voice in the back of my head spoke up. Matt? Yes? What are you doing here? That's a good question. Don't you know only 1/10 of 1% of the world's population has ever completed a marathon? And you've had cancer. You're still on medication. You can't do this. How many know about this little voice I'm talking about? Right? You see, the greatest challenge I faced, it was not overcoming cancer 3 times. It wasn't even relearning how to walk and running a marathon. But you know the greatest challenge we'll ever face is? Take your index finger, please, and point to your mind. It's the limiting beliefs, that negative self-talk, that self-defeating inner dialogue. I love what Joel Osteen wrote in his first book. He said, you'll never rise above the image that you have of yourself in your own mind. And it's so true. So the question is, how do you change that image? And the third and final strategy I'm going to share with you and talk to you about this morning is check your attitude. Check your attitude. A little bit after 1 o'clock, my phone rang. Hello? Matt? Yes? Matt, this is Dr. McNamara. I have some good news and some bad. Now, when the doctor calls you at home, it's not a good sign. Matt, you're sicker than we thought. You have cancer. And I thought to myself, well, I sure hope the good news isn't that he switched to Geico and saved a bunch of money. Seven months later, the cancer returned. I hit the wall of life. And what do you do when you hit the wall of life? What do you do when you come up against those challenges in life? When everything, all your hopes, all your dreams, all your aspirations fall apart. As the title of my book says, when you're going through hell, you don't stop. Dr. Doom. She walked over to my bedside and she pulled up a chair. Matt, the cancer's come back and it's spread to your brain. Now, because of my positive attitude, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I'm gonna need a brain transplant. Without hesitation, you have a less than 10% chance of living to the age of 30. She got up and she walked out. 2 weeks ago, I turned 30. And ladies and gentlemen, someone else's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I picked up the phone and said, Mom, happy Mother's Day. I get to go home. And what a feeling it was walking out of that hospital door. And I haven't been back since and been in remission ever since that day. Yes. Coming down that final stretch, I had gone 26 miles. And I never realized how far 0.2 miles could be. There were spectators, they were lined up and they were cheering me on. You can do it, you're almost there, no problem, piece of cake. And I thought in the back of my head, well, that's easy for them to say, they haven't ran 26 miles. And even though I finished like 16,000th, 159th, I pretended like it was the Olympic gold medal. And Ariella, she ran up to me, we embraced, and she said, Matt, did you know that an 83-year-old man beat you? But I want you to know that I'm in training for a rematch. But I'm going to wait till he gets to be about 86 or 87. So squat down. Second step is to grab those harness. The third one is put your hands up, arc your back. Congratulations, you're ready to skydive. All right. And there we go. Over 120 miles an hour, free falling, 14,000 feet above the clouds. We fall through the clouds. The thing is, I share that story because it's a metaphor for our lives. You see, that plane represents our comfort zone. And so often in life, we do what we've always done. Usually we step out here today, take an action step to your vision. Because we're going to cross that finish line together. And when we do, all together, we're going to go victory, victory, victory. Victory, victory, victory. Lots of noise. Come on, come on. Give these two people.